Hey everyone, really quickly here, off the top rope, reacting to SmackDown, a very newsworthy SmackDown from the Barclays Center on Friday night. While a lot of people were probably watching the World Series, there were still a lot of people in attendance for this event. This was very newsworthy. A lot of very key storylines were advanced. We'll start at the end, man. Let's start at the end with with one of the best things I saw in WWE all week. First of all, the Motor City Machine Guns, only in WWE for 2 weeks after waiting for almost 2 decades to get to the show, are the WWE Tag Team Champions. Hell yeah. I am so pumped for Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Those guys have busted their asses through every independent wrestling company, through TNA, gotten to every single level of professional wrestling, and they, in 2 weeks, are the WWE Tag Team Champions. Leave out all the shenanigans that went into it. These guys earned this moment. And if you saw their social media, Alex Shelley had a good post on his social media. They did a vlog on WWE of them showing up at SmackDown last week. They saw Sami Zayn. They saw Bobby Roode. They ran into a bunch of people that they know. They ran into Corey Graves, who referred to Alex Shelley by his real first name. It's just really cool to see guys that I've been following for 15 plus years, to see them get a big time moment in front of a big time crowd. They are awesome. If you followed Alex Shelley's career, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. Chris Sabin at one point had back-to-back ACL injuries that he had to come back from. Both of them are former TNA World Champions, staples of that brand. So to see them get this moment on SmackDown was fucking awesome. And I'm so fucking happy for those two guys, because nobody deserves it more in the tag team division than those two. So I'm so over the moon that happened. Now, the other big bit of news. The brothers Uso. The Usos are back together. We get the hug at the end. This was a very meaty ending of the show. The OG bloodline is starting to come back together. I did not see Jey Uso being so willing to go back to his brother right away. There's not really a rush to do it, but you know what? If you're going to do it in the fashion that they did. And the way that they did this, with Jimmy getting involved in the match after a sudden abrupt and unplanned tag team championship match between the Motor City Machine Guns after they beat DIY. They face the Bloodline for the tag team titles. Jimmy Uso gets involved. Roman Reigns gets involved. They fight off Solo and Jacob to the back. And then Jay gets involved with a ref bump happening. And ultimately it leads to the Motor City Machine Guns winning. Jay's hanging in the ring. Jimmy comes out. They hug, which is a wonderful pop and a wonderful moment. And you know what? Away we go. And now it comes down to, hey, I thought Jay was going to be the last piece of this whole thing, but I think Sammy's going to be the last piece of this whole thing with the Bloodline. We'll see if The Rock factors into it. But that was very, very newsworthy to end the show. SmackDown has been really, really good. And this was an awesome way to, put the wheels in motion for that Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games match that's inevitably going to happen in Vancouver at Survivor Series. So that wasn't the only thing that happened on this show that was really interesting. We get a behind the we broke the fourth wall to start the show. Randy Orton walks to the ring, and all of a sudden he talks to Triple H and Gorilla. He calls Triple H out in the ring from Gorilla. You see Triple H leaving his post, and basically it comes down to Randy wants a match at Crown Jewel against Kevin Owens, and Triple H basically says, hey, I'm protecting you from him, which was very interesting. And one thing leads to another. Randy gets his match against Kevin Owens, but they're building up Kevin Owens as this deranged individual who's kind of lost it and isn't all there, which is kind of hey, he's very disconnected and something's not right. And so that was a very interesting element to play into their history, obviously with Triple H and Randy Orton. But that match is inevitably going to happen. It is announced. It's official for Crown Jewel. A lot of big stuff for Crown Jewel on the table. But yeah, that segment was great. And a great way to start off the show in Brooklyn. Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight with the get. Listen, we all knew what was going to happen here. I was disappointed that we kind of got a nonsense finish here. But you knew what was going to happen when you made LA Knight the referee. A lot of people actually weren't happy with the whole circumstance of what happened. Yeah, it was kind of weak. Like if it were me, I wouldn't put LA Knight in this spot. I would have just had a straight match and gone to a non-finish rather than, put LA Knight in there and, have the cop out to them getting to the triple threat. I mean, we all knew what was going to happen here, but the second you put LA Knight in this match, you just kind of knew the finish was going to be telegraphed. And I think that was kind of that was not that wasn't it. Like, especially considering the work that Andrade and Carmelo had put into these 7 matches. It's just, to end it on that just felt, kind of misplaced. Like I said, I would have had him fight to a draw, and then, book the match. Like, I understand you have LA Knight involved in this, but he didn't need to be involved in this match to get to where you wanted to go. So that was a disappointing element of this whole thing. I like that they're using Candice LeRae a lot more. She gets a match against Naomi. Naomi ends up pinning her after the running interference of Bayley. So that was fun. We get Lin-Manuel Miranda, who my sister loves and adores from Hamilton. Really nice to see him in the front row. So Cody and Gunther had a really great promo to set up a match that I personally like. I love the two guys. I could not give a shit about these Crown Jewel Championship matches. Like, this is just to please the egos of the Saudi princes because they have a big contract with WWE. This match means nothing, but Cody is doing his absolute best to make this work, and so is Gunther. Like Gunther playing up that he is the workhorse, and basically diminishing that what Cody does in terms of like media. And Gunther saying, "Yeah, I'm above that." Like it's a good counter. It's a good like difference in approaches between these two champions, babyface and heel. So that was interesting. And then you get the run in from Kaiser and Randy Orton. We're gonna get a tag match next week in the Go Home episode before Crown Jewel, with Randy and Cody teaming up against Gunther and Kaiser. So that'll be a lot of fun. Another match announced for the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. They're going to go with 6 matches, which is interesting for a Triple H show. But we're getting Bianca Belair defending and Jade Cargill defending in a fatal 4-way the women's tag team titles against Io and Kairi, Lash and Jakara, and Chelsea and Piper. So it's nice to see that they're actually building a women's tag team division. So that should be interesting. Good to see all 8 of those women make it onto the show. And then, like I said, really, it comes down to Motor City Machine Guns wrestle 2 matches, get 2 wins, and they're the tag team champions, man. And, the bloodline's starting to form. Really good job of utilizing the main event and the last, 25, 30 minutes of your show to advance 2 really big angles, giving new tag team champions to deserving champions and putting them over, getting a pop that they deserve that they didn't get in their debut. It was awesome to see those guys get put over. And then obviously the big moment at the end. The bloodline is forming, and it seems like this is going to be the pattern of things going into Crown Jewel and then ultimately at Survivor Series. So a great SmackDown. Really enjoyed it. United States Championship situation. I'm excited to see the triple threat, but I would have liked to have seen them execute how we got there with match 7 a lot better, because like I said, I think Andrade and Carmelo deserved a lot better than what they got there. And I love LA Knight too, but I just think his involvement in this match really didn't do anything for me. So yeah, that's it. That's this edition of Off the Top Rope. Keep it here for some more reaction. We're going to have a lot more stuff this weekend, a big weekend in wrestling. TNA's got Bound for Glory. Joe Hendry could be the World Heavyweight Champion before the weekend is over. You got Halloween Havoc. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. We'll have a lot of it here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. Hit that subscribe button if you're into wrestling or sports, whatever. We got it all here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.